This presentation is for my Engaged Learning Project, Standard 4.1, Criterion 12, Standard 4.3, Criterion 14, Standard 4.4, Criterion 15, and Standard 5.2, Criterion 17. This is for class iTech 7500, and my name is Victoria Denker. An overview of my Engaged Learning Project. This project was all about entrepreneurship. Students will learn first about the productive resources and what entrepreneurship is by conducting their own online research, using pre-selected websites, resources, and videos and TED Talks created by kid entrepreneurs their own age. After learning, they will create a business of their own. They will decide on a good or service that they believe will be of real use or value to themselves or people in their community and that are based on their own personal interests and passions. Then they will meet with and or research various entrepreneurs to understand what they need to know, how to start a business, characteristics they will need, pros and cons, etc. They will create a business plan, including what productive resources they will need to start their business, and they will research the amount of money needed to acquire said resources and how much they will need to charge for their good or service for their business to make a profit. Students will create an online advertisement using Adobe Spark, in which they will have to write a persuasive piece about their good or service. Last, they will share their project and advertisement to an online sharing platform such as Seesaw or Weebly. We will connect with students at other schools to share businesses and allow students to provide feedback on their good and service and advertisement. Other students will be able to share whether they are likely to purchase said good or service based on their advertisement and persuasive piece. Students will need to construct a prototype of their good to post to their advertisement and journal. Students will then be encouraged, if they so choose outside of the school setting, to create an online store and sell their product. They'll be shown Etsy for inspiration. And or if we are able to, we will have an in-school market day where students will sell their goods to their peers. The learning will occur at my school, LaBelle Elementary, located in Marietta, Georgia. My school is roughly 68% Hispanic, with most of them being English language learners. Therefore, it will be important that I provide resources the students can understand, and for some resources in Spanish. Our school is a Title I school, which means around 90% of our students come from low-income households. I may need to provide some items for my students to take home in order for them to construct their prototype, or provide class time for them to complete it. All students have their own laptops at school, so all research will be done at school. Many of the families of our students do not speak English, so a translation of the project will be provided to families, and the families of our students are very supportive and helpful, and I'll be sure to include them in the project and offer opportunities for them to come into the classroom to help. Standard 4.1, Criterion 12. I collaborated with my peer, Mr. Brown, who is my third grade teammate at LaBelle Elementary. We collaborated on this project to teach entrepreneurship. We planned all of the activities together. However, each of us contributed in different ways. Mr. Brown's brother is an entrepreneur. He owns his own donut food truck and has agreed to meet with our students virtually and possibly later in the school year to share his donuts and to answer some questions. I handle the technology components by teaching the students how to use the various tools that they will be using throughout the project. Standard 4.3, Criterion 14. Students will get to meet various entrepreneurs, as mentioned before, via Zoom. Students were first required to come up with at least 5 thoughtful questions they would like to ask the entrepreneurs. Our entrepreneurship unit is ongoing and has just begun. Therefore, we have not yet met with the entrepreneurs, but will later in the school year. Students will get to ask their questions and apply what they learned from the experts to their project. Standard 4.4, Criterion 15. The identified learners are third grade students. Their supporters are their parents/families and other third grade students from our sister school. I communicate with parents often via my digital classroom and through CTLS Parent, the platform that my county uses for communication. We'll be virtually meeting with peers from our sister school throughout the process to share ideas and progress updates. Our first meeting will be in December, but will last until the end of the unit. Standard 5.2, Criterion 17. This is one example of an opinion/persuasive writing piece a student created on edublogs.org. The students were required to use an online blogging website of their choice and write a persuasive piece to convince their peers to purchase their items. They also used Adobe to create a flyer or advertisement to accompany their persuasive piece of writing. And here's one example of a student's flyer that they created. Also, students use technology to conduct research on entrepreneurship and the cost of their chosen business. And later in the school year, we'll be using technology for students to share out their project with peers from our sister school. All of the standards addressed throughout this project are for social studies, um, define and give examples of the 4 types of productive resources, which is natural, human capital, and entrepreneurship. For math, adding and subtracting within 1,000 when they figure out the cost of their business. And for writing, opinion or persuasive writing on a topic or text supported with reasons. Thank you for listening.